Welcome to The Grit Factor, reimagining grit as part of the whole person in a life that matters. I'm your host, Shannon Huffman-Polson.
We took off out of our base, and about 10 minutes into the ride, we went under this bridge, and there was just this boom, like this deafening boom, and black smokes everywhere, the smell of metal, and the windshields crashed in, our vehicle was swerving, and we ended up crashing kind of into this Iraqi woman's house, and everyone else in my vehicle, so 4 other soldiers kind of got out, and you're trained to do that, to get out, you surround the vehicle, point your weapon out, and kind of see like what the situation is like.
Right.
I started to do that and realized pretty quickly that something was wrong. There was a lot of blood. So lucky for me, there was a combat medic 2 vehicles back. He realized I was injured. He rushed up, pulled me out of the vehicle by my flak vest, my bulletproof vest, and he laid me there in the sands of Iraq, really saving my life. I mean, I was losing a lot of blood. He started a tourniquet. I was awake through all of it, and they called a medevac helicopter that ended up not really, it didn't actually go through, so the helicopter never came, so I was put in the back of this big vehicle, driven to the nearest aid station, flown to the emergency hospital in Baghdad, rushed into a life-saving surgery. So kind of all these, things kind of added up like one after the next. But I mean, they got me into surgery on time. I was told there wasn't a lot of time left because I was losing a lot of blood. And, it's kind of started that new chapter of my life.
And what did you, when the explosion happened and everything started to unfold, I imagine that's very quick, actually. What did you feel? What did you feel physically and emotionally?
Nothing. I think it's such a shock to the system. Like it's like, I had my leg and it was severed immediately. It was gone, but your body doesn't really realize it right away. So it felt like, it was like on fire, I would say, but it wasn't really extreme pain until the medic put the tourniquet on. And it turns out I had fractured my femur as well. He put the tourniquet right where the fracture was, unknowing. I mean, he didn't care. He had to do what he did. He had to save my life and stop the bleeding. So it didn't matter if it was fractured or not. So that's really when the real pain started, is when that tourniquet went on. And also the realization that, things probably weren't as good as I imagined they were in my head, just because you never think something like this is going to happen to you. It's a possibility, but so kind of laying there thinking about, like maybe I broke my leg or maybe, something else, but just, it's just kind of crazy looking back to think about how quickly it all happened. But being at Walter Reed at that, Army Medical Center, and if I ever had like a down moment, all I had to do was look around, and there were other soldiers who were missing 2 limbs, 3 limbs, sometimes 4 limbs. They had traumatic brain injuries. They lost their eyesight. And if I ever had a bad moment, all I had to do was look around. And I mean, I couldn't feel sorry for myself. It really put things in perspective and helped me, early on accept the loss and choose to move on with it.
And to have various parts of that team, but it sounds to me like you had a very solid foundation, which is really wonderful.
Yes. And, and I can't stress enough, you talk about team. I mean, for me, the importance of team in my entire life, I mean, the military, teamwork is like resonates in everything we do. Yes. In athletics, I mean, it's all about a team. Right now we're going through this unprecedented time. It's even more important than ever to have your team and those people that you can talk to and rely on and lean on. And team is everything.
If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on your favorite podcast app and share it with a friend. Also, pick up your own copy of The Grit Factor for more candid stories and lessons from leaders in the vanguards of their fields. And invest in yourself and in your team with learning journeys in grit, leadership, purpose, and storytelling at thegritinstitute.com. Thanks for listening. I hope you'll join me for the next episode of The Grit Factor.